Hi, welcome to Flow Quickie. So this is a nice short flow, get you moving. No props needed today, but if you've got a yoga block, then feel free to grab it if you want to have a supported malasana squat today. That's all you'll need it for. Otherwise, no props needed, just you and your mat, and we'll get started in child's pose. So coming to find your place in child's pose, whatever feels best for you. Maybe the knees are together or apart, arms in front or behind. Allowing the forehead to come down to the mat, bringing the heels on the hips to the heels. And bringing the big toes together. Starting by taking a few deep breaths into the body. Inhaling in whatever it is that you need for this practice for today. And exhaling out anything that's old or stagnant, anything feeling heavy. Deep sigh. Taking a couple more of those breaths, inhaling deep into the body, in through the nose, filling up all of the spaces, the lungs, the belly. Exhaling out anything stuck, anything heavy. And one more time, taking a deep breath into the body, filling it with nourishing oxygen. Reaching every corner of the body. Exhale, release. Whenever you're ready, keeping your forehead to the mat, walking the hands and the forehead over to the right hand side, keeping the hips onto the heels, taking a little side stretch into the left side of the body. So coming over as far as you want and taking this nice juicy stretch, opening up the body. On your next inhale, keeping the forehead low, walking over to the other side. Chest comes over the thigh. Exhale, releasing down. Taking in this stretch on the right hand side of the body. Allowing it to open up, to wake up. Inhale, arms come back to center, rising up onto all fours, hands and knees. Hands underneath your shoulders, knees under the hips, drawing the spine long. And coming through a few cat-cows. Pressing through the hands as you inhale. Tailbone rises, rolling through the spine. Chest comes between the hands, lifting the gaze. Exhale, tucking the tailbone, rounding the spine, tucking the chin. Coming through a couple more times at your own pace. So inhaling, opening, expanding. And exhale option here as you tuck them round to also add a little knee hover, pressing through the hands, lifting the knees a couple of inches from the ground. And then lowering the knees if you took the heel hover, coming back through. Option to take that little knee hover again as you press through the hands, exhaling. And lowering back down. Tucking the toes under, pressing through the hands, lifting the hips, coming into downward facing dog. Maybe you take a big bend in the knees. Maybe you take a little pedal through the feet, warming up the back of your legs. On your next inhale, walking, lunging or floating, coming to meet at the top of your mat in halfway lift. So when you get there, bringing the hands to the shins, the thighs, drawing the spine long, gazes down. Exhale, release, forward fold. And as you inhale, rolling up through the spine, reaching out to the sides actively with the fingertips, up overhead, reaching tall. And hands come together in front of the heart. Let's come through the sun salutation together. Inhale, arms come out to the side, up overhead, reaching tall. Exhale, hinging at the hips, coming down into forward fold. Inhaling to your halfway lift, gaze is down, spine reaching long. And then exhale, hands by the feet, stepping back into plank, taking a breath here if you want to, with the knees up. Feel free to drop them at any time. Seeing how it feels to hold this plank for one more breath. And then option here to come through whatever version of chaturanga feels good for you. Maybe the knees come down, perhaps keeping the knees lifted, or full chaturanga, lowering down to the ground. Untucking the toes when you get there, pressing through the hands and lifting up into your version of cobra. So maybe a baby cobra for today, peeling up from the breastbone, shoulders are away from the ears, rolled down. Maybe upward facing dog. And exhale, finding your way back into downward facing dog. On your next inhale, right foot comes forward in between the hands. Grounding down the back foot, bending through the front knee as you rise up into warrior two. Taking up space in this pose, reaching front fingers, back fingers as far away as you can from each other. And one more breath. Exhale, bringing the hands by the feet, spinning onto the back toes, stepping back into plank. Coming through whatever version feels good for you. Feel free to bring the knees down if that's better. Maybe you untuck the toes, maybe still taking a cobra as you inhale, or an upward dog. And exhale, finding your way back into downward facing dog. On your next inhale, bringing the left foot forward in between the hands, grounding down that right foot as you rise up into warrior two on this side. Drawing the shoulders away from the ears. Maybe gaze comes over the left fingertips. One more breath, reaching, expanding in this pose, opening the body. And exhale, hands come by the feet, spinning onto the back toes, stepping back to plank and coming through your version of chaturanga. Inhale into cobra or upward facing dog, expanding and opening through your chest. Exhale, whenever you're ready, finding your way back into downward facing dog. Taking a couple of breaths here, grounding down through your fingers, reaching up with the hips. And then stepping, walking or maybe floating, coming to meet in halfway lift at the top of your mat. Bringing hands to shins or thighs, gaze is down. Exhale, release to forward fold. Inhale, rising up as you reach tall, coming back to stand. Exhaling into mountain pose. So coming through one more time, your pace, whatever's feeling good. Inhaling, reaching up as you exhale, hinging through the hips, coming down into forward fold. Inhaling into your halfway lift, opening and expanding. Exhale, bringing the hands by the feet, coming back into plank, maybe floating through chaturanga, maybe lowering down all the way to the ground. As you inhale, if you've come all the way down, untucking the toes into your cobra, maybe you come into upward facing dog. And exhale, finding your way back into downward facing dog. Taking the last downward dog before we come through our warriors. So actually it's not technically the last downward dog of the sequence, but taking a little couple of breaths here before we come into the warriors. And inhale, Right foot comes forward, in between your hands, grounding down the back foot. Rising up into warrior two. Flipping the front palm, reversing into reverse warrior, reaching tall. Exhale into your extended side angle. So maybe elbow comes to thigh, and arm reaches up and over. If you've got the space, you can bring the hand down to the ground. Inhale, rising back up into warrior two. Exhale, spinning onto the back toes, stepping back into plank and coming through your vinyasa. Feel free to skip this section if you just want to go straight to downward facing dog. Inhaling cobra or upward dog, and exhaling downward facing dog. When you're ready, on your next inhale, stepping forward with the left foot, coming into warrior two on this side, grounding down the back heel, and rising up as you inhale. Opening up in this pose, flipping the front palm, inhaling, reaching up into your reverse warrior, maybe reaching back if there's space. Exhale, bringing either elbow to thigh, arm comes up and over, keeping the chest open, or maybe bringing the head down to the ground if you're feeling like that's nice and spacious down there. On your next inhale, wherever you are, rising back up to warrior two. And exhale, hands by the feet, stepping back into plank, coming onto the toes. Lowering down into your cobra or your upward facing dog. And exhale, finding your way back into downward facing dog. This one is actually the last one. So sorry for the false alarm earlier. Taking a few deep breaths in this downward facing dog. And when you're ready, inhaling, finding your way to the top of the mat, stepping, walking, maybe floating. Bringing the hands to the shins, halfway lift. Exhale, release to forward fold. Inhale, rising up, reaching tall. When you get there, this time, separating the arms, cactus arms, lion's breath. And bringing the arms back down by the sides. And taking the feet to about as wide as the mat. And folding forward, folding from the hips. When you get there, bringing one hand inside each elbow, coming into a little ragdoll. Nice, relaxing position, maybe a little shake from side to side. Seeing if you can let the head and the neck be really, really heavy. Inhale, rising up, rolling up through the spine. And then we'll come into Malasana squat. So if you like to take a restorative Malasana, you might want to grab your block if you've got one, popping it behind you. Otherwise, bringing the toes slightly out, heels slightly in, keeping the feet at the edge of the mat. Hands come to prayer, and then lowering down into your squat. So feel free to take hands behind or in front for stability. And if you've got your block, you can come and have a little seat on your block. So elbows come inside of the knees, helping to open the hips, opening the knees, and then drawing the chest towards the hands, sitting tall if you can. If you don't have a block, then you're welcome to take this without. And if that doesn't feel comfy, you can come up onto toes and maybe do a little kind of move side to side or whatever else feels good for your body. Taking one more breath wherever you are. And then removing any blocks, hands come behind the body. Scooting up to about halfway up your mat, lowering down onto your back. And bringing both knees into the chest, hugging the knees, maybe a little rock side to side. Interlacing your fingers around your right shin, opening out the left leg to the ground, coming into a little spinal twist, holding onto the shin with your left hand, reaching your right arm out, gaze over the right arm, and then exhale, slowly drawing that right leg across the body to the left hand side. You can roll up onto that left hip if you want, if that feels good. And maybe closing the eyes. Couple of deep breaths here. Allowing the spine to open and relax and drink in the benefits from this pose. Inhale, bringing your head back to center, right arm comes down by the side of the body, and then rolling onto the back, maybe drawing both knees into the chest, taking a little rock side to side. Interlacing your fingers around the left shin this time, right leg comes out to the ground. And left arm out to the side, gaze over the left arm. This time drawing the leg across the body to the right. And coming up onto that right hip if that feels good. Maybe you even get a free adjustment like I just did, a little click in the spine. Always nice when that happens. And taking a few breaths here, opening up the spine, the chest, the shoulders. And on your next inhale, slowly bringing the head back to center. Then the left arm follows down by the side, rolling onto your back. Hugging both knees into the chest. Inhaling, squeezing, bringing the forehead to the knees, everything up in a tight little ball. And exhale loud and open through the mouth as the body opens up to the ground. Taking a few minutes here, coming into Shavasana, getting cozy and supported with cushions or whatever you might need. Imagining that your body is melting down into the ground like honey being poured from above, spreading out, being received. Seeing if you can really let it surrender to the mat. Allowing the breath to fill your body deeply and fully. Letting go completely if you can. Becoming spacious in this pose and giving the body a chance to have a few moments rest. If you have time to grab a few more minutes, here today. I really recommend it. So good for the body to be in this pose and to have that time out. So I hope you're able to stay and chill for a little bit longer, my yogi friends. It's been great to practice with you this flow quickie, super short sequence. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Namaste.